This is On Point with Miss Britt, bringing you Week 11 college football recap. And actually, before we get into it, I just wanted to send my thoughts and prayers to the University of Virginia and the football team. A couple days ago, 3 lives were taken and 2 were injured in a shooting. And I just want to acknowledge the lives lost as Lavelle Davis Jr., Deshaun Perry, and Devin Chandler. Running back Mike Hollins is still in the hospital, and as well as another student that is not named, but the other student is considered to be in good condition. So like I said, it was unfortunate that their lives were taken, and Virginia has canceled their final home game. And I just send my deepest condolences. I couldn't even imagine what the family is going through, and it really breaks my heart, and I'm really upset about this because those men did not deserve that. They literally were coming back from Washington, D.C. from a field trip, and I really don't have any words. So just wanted to acknowledge them. So last night, the college football playoff rankings were announced. And the top 5 is pretty much still the same. And then after that, we had some shakeups due to some games. So I'll just go through like the top 10, and then you guys are more than welcome to look up the rest. All right, number 1 is Georgia. Number 2 is Ohio State. Number 3 is Michigan. Number 4 is TCU. Number 5 is Tennessee. Number 6, the new number 6 is LSU. New number 7 is USC. Number 8 is Alabama. Number 9 is Clemson, 10 is Utah, rounding out the top 10. And Penn State is at 11, and Oregon is at 12, and once I recap, yeah, like I said, there were some shakeups over the weekend. Okay, now let's get to the actual recap. So we have number 1 Georgia against Mississippi State, and they beat them 45-19. I didn't expect nothing less. So now Georgia is going to the SEC championship game. Georgia's quarterback Stetson Bennett threw for 3 touchdowns, 289 yards, and he also had a rushing touchdown. Georgia's offense put up a total of 468 yards. Georgia's receiver, Ladd McConkey, he had a 7-yard touchdown run and a 17-yard touchdown reception. So they're just continuing to roll. And I just have to say this, it just really kill me that Georgia fans are like, yeah, we're winning the SEC championship. We're going back to back. We're winning the national championship. Nothing is guaranteed. Every team has a weakness, and somebody's going to eventually find out your weakness. And it looks like LSU is finding out a lot of people's weakness. So I wouldn't just sleep on them and say we guarantee winning it. Anyways, moving on. All right, so we got number 2 OSU versus Indiana. And last week, due to the strong winds in the Windy City, OSU's run game was not looking great at all. Actually, it hasn't been looking great. And now the run game is back. They got things rolling. Mayan Williams, he rushed for 147 yards and a touchdown before leaving the game with an injury in the late first half. CJ Stroud, he threw for 5 touchdowns, 297 yards. Dallin Hayden, he became running back number 1 because Travion Henderson was out, Mayan Williams was out, so they moved him up. And he had a career high of 102 yards. Marvin Harrison Jr., he had 135 yards, as well as a 58-yard touchdown pass that happened in 9 seconds on 1st and 10 at the OSU 42. He scored a touchdown. And then also, can we acknowledge, to me, this is the catch of the year. He had that 12-yard pass to the Indiana 26 for a first down where he literally landed on 1 foot with his leg stretched out. Now, granted, the defender kind of helped him out because the defender had his leg up in the air. But, boy, that man is bad. He is bad. Xavier Johnson, he had a 71-yard touchdown in the 4th quarter. And then Cameron Babb, I am so happy for him. He got his first career touchdown. This man, he has missed 3 of the 4 seasons. He had 4 ACL surgeries. So he's been through so much adversity. I'm just so happy he was able to get in the game. And actually, it was CJ Stroud's idea to get him the ball when he did get into the game. in the fourth quarter. So I'm just so happy for him, overcoming that adversity. And I hope to see more of him in the future. And OSU won 56-14, just so we clear. All right, number 3, Michigan versus Nebraska. Michigan's running back, Blake Corum, he rushed for 162 yards and a touchdown. Michigan's quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, he had a 3-yard rush touchdown and passed for 129 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Michigan won 34-3. Michigan's defense faced Nebraska's 3rd-string quarterback, Logan Smothers, and they forced 7 punts and allowed 146 yards. Nebraska's wide receiver, Alante Brown, he tried doing a hurdle over a Michigan defender, and this dude dang near landed on his neck. It looked like it hurt. Yeah, that was crazy. All right, we got number 4, TCU versus Texas. I ain't gonna lie, y'all, this game was so freaking boring. I literally fell asleep and woke up to TCU scoring a field goal with 1:20 left in the second quarter. That's how boring it was. But anyways, TCU's Kendre Miller rushed for 138 yards, including a 75-yard touchdown in the third quarter. TCU's quarterback, Max Duggan, was sacked 4 times in the first half. And he threw a 31-yard touchdown pass to Quentin Johnston in the fourth quarter. So they ended up winning that game 17-10. And Texas hasn't scored a touchdown pass in the second half of the last 3 games. Their only touchdown came from a scoop and score by Jahdae Barron on a 48-yard fumble return late in the fourth. I was so disappointed in Texas. I thought that they may have been able to beat TCU, but clearly I was wrong. All right, so we have number 5, Tennessee versus Missouri. Easy win for Tennessee, 66-24. Hendon Hooker threw for 3 touchdowns and ran for a touchdown. He had 355 yards. They bounced back from a loss against Georgia, and they set a school record with 724 total offensive yards. Tennessee receiver Jalen Hyatt, he caught 7 passes for 146 yards and a touchdown, and Brew McCoy had 9 passes for 111 yards. Missouri's quarterback Brady Cook ran 106 yards and threw for 217 yards and 2 touchdowns. So Tennessee is back to rolling. And I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up slipping into the playoffs. I mean, their only loss is to Georgia, even though it was a bad loss. It's not like they're a bad team. I mean, they kind of deserve to be there. And plus, the Michigan-Ohio State game, it's going to be one spot open for sure. And TCU might slip up. Who knows? We'll see what happens, y'all. All right, the new number 6 is LSU, and they are the only 8-2 team versus Arkansas. And that was kind of a slow game. LSU ended up beating Arkansas 13-10. LSU freshman linebacker Harold Perkins Jr. had a strip sack of Arkansas's quarterback Cade Fortin with 1:17 left on the clock to seal the win. Perkins finished with 2 forced fumbles, 4 sacks, and 8 tackles. LSU defense allowed 249 yards. LSU running back Josh Williams, he scored the only touchdown and ran for 122 yards. Arkansas was without their starting quarterback, KJ Jefferson. Cade Fortin was put in last minute and finished 8 for 13, 92 yards and a touchdown and a fumble. And LSU will face Georgia in the SEC championship game. And hopefully that's a good game. I think LSU will give them a run for their money. All right, we got number 7 USC versus Colorado. They rolled on through 55-17. USC's quarterback Caleb Williams had 3 touchdown passes and rushed for 2 touchdowns. With he had 260 yards passing. He had a 2-yard touchdown run and a 4-yard touchdown run. And USC starting running back Travis Dye went down with a knee injury in the second quarter. Darwin Barlow, he scored a 3-yard touchdown with 36 seconds left in the game. They was already winning, so he didn't seal no win. They already was winning. All right, number 8, Alabama versus Ole Miss. Alabama's quarterback Bryce Young threw for 3 touchdowns, 209 yards. Alabama scored on 4 consecutive possessions. Alabama's kicker, Will Ricard, he kicked a 23-yard field goal and a 49-yard field goal in the fourth quarter to break a 24-score tie and put Alabama up to win the game 30-24. Alabama trailed 10-0 early and 17-14 at halftime. Ole Miss's running back Quinshon Judkins, he rushed for 135 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Judkins led Ole Miss on the final drive to the Alabama 14 before the Crimson Tide got the stop to win the game. All right, the biggest upset of the weekend was Oregon. They were previously number 6, and they lost to Washington 34-37, and now they are number 12. So Washington's Peyton Henry kicked a 43-yard field goal with 51 seconds left to win the game, and they ended a 13-game losing streak against the Ducks. Washington's quarterback, Michael Penix Jr., threw a 62-yard touchdown pass to Taj Davis to score at 34 to tie the game at 34 with 3:07 left on the clock. Penix threw for 408 yards and 2 touchdowns. Oregon's quarterback, Bo Nix, got Oregon to the Washington 38 on the final drive after Washington scored that field goal, so they were trying to win the game or at least tie the game. But an illegal touch penalty ending hopes of a last-minute scoring drive. Bo Nix finished 19 for 27, 280 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So that is the recap that I have for you this week. Let me know y'all's favorite moments. And college football is slowly wrapping up, man. Next weekend, we got some big games. I mean, this weekend, we got some pretty good games. But next weekend, it's about to get real. So I'll see y'all. I'm out.